So we are on to map 2 here of the best of 2 series between Invictus and Backstrat Boys. Backstrat Boys took the first map 8-6. Very back and forth map on Cafe, both teams looking convincing on both sides. Keegan did some work on Monty in the first map, so I'd be very surprised if we don't see the defenders of Backstrat Boys here ban out the Monty. Yeah, they do. So this is quite interesting because it's a target ban, obviously, against the last map. But it'll be interesting to see now if Maverick gets left in play. A lot of teams ban the Maverick as default, and that target ban takes it away from Backstrat's control. And the Thatcher ban comes out, so we do see Maverick in play, which I'm not sure whether or not Backstrat would have banned the Maverick if they'd had the chance. I'm not sure, I don't know these two teams particularly well. I don't know if they've got, I don't know which team won the ban phase, so to speak. And I got Vigil ban again coming out for Invictus, which is surprising to me. It leaves a lot of defender utility on the board. Maybe they're just, they've got a style of droning perhaps where Vigil just catches them off and they just like to get rid of him. Maybe just trying to weaken the mute Mozzie Vigil combo as well. I'm not sure if Backstrat are particularly famous for running that, but the Kaid ban, so again we saw it last time on Cafe as well, and again on Clubhouse. Echo, Maestro and Mirror all in play available, and we saw some Mirror strats and some Echo strats. Didn't see a huge amount of Maestro if I remember correctly, but pretty interesting bans here, not going for the default kind of pro league bans that you'd expect. Echo in play. A lot of players not seeming to get their operators in time. I'm not sure if it's a server lag or if people are just not loading through on my side.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Onto the bottom floor here for Backstrat.
Razor wire going up. All secured.
10 seconds to insertion.
So Backstrat setting up a fairly default kind of bunker looking strat. They really like stacking their barbed wire in certain spots, which is quite interesting.
Is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
The one thing I would say about Invictus on their last game was that they weren't bad with their time management, but they did keep losing their opening picks, like this pick onto Ground Slayer from Miela. It is doing them a lot of harm as they're losing vertical or hard breach quite often, and this is not a good entry for them so far. Not sure where that Ella was when she got the opening kill, but U-Series also picking up Hypno, and Shield Boy here trying to level this out. May does get one. The attackers here just looking a little bit like they're having trouble getting into building every time. Not sure what's going on with them at the moment.
Surveying.
They've only really got this garage CC control, and they are attacking the bottom floor, so only 3 of them alive. Trying to take out the map control. They've got only 5 drones between them. They've got a huge amount of the maps to just space check at this point, and it does look like Keegan's being droned by Smay, which is good to see, but I don't think it's going to be extremely difficult for them to win this opening round. I gotta say, from what I've seen so far, I think Backstrap Boys have the better gun skill. They seem to be winning their opening engagements more often.
Setting charge.
I think both teams are kind of on par in terms of strats, and potentially in terms of like drone economy and utility usage, but Backstrap just winning the opening picks and looking pretty convincing on their roam.
Setting charge.
Ella here sees the Ash, actually lands a couple of shots on the Ash from quite a distance, but gets lit up to about 10 HP as a result of it, so probably not the play.
The attacker's bomb diffuser has
Keegan here just playing vertical. Mill does pick off Smay, so that is the thermite off. I'm not sure if he managed to get the breach. Shieldboy and Keegan here just trying to play a couple of vertical angles. Look for a cheeky pick through the bars, and that would give him a bit of a boost, because at the moment they don't look like they're going to be able to do much. I also think it's worth mentioning that the first match did go on for quite a while and was potentially quite emotionally draining for the team who lost in overtime. Keegan gets picked off and Rubik's follows up onto Shieldboy, and first round goes convincingly across to Backstrap Boys. However, I would say that Clubhouse is, particularly the basement, is defender sided. Didn't weigh in all that much on Cafe, as we saw an even amount of, we saw actually 4 rounds of attack 1 and 4 rounds of defense. But we are on to CC, which I think is probably the little bit more simpler side to break down. If they're not actually running the Zofia trick at all, I forget the Thatcher has been back, so the attackers here gonna have to go below, but there's actually no wall denial at all coming out from Backstrap Boys here. Although they do, yeah, they are 6 feet onto that. Okay, so that makes a lot more sense. Fairly standard. I assume they're going to be holding the rafters with the dock. The IQ here, crucial for stopping these Echo yokais. Surprised to see six-picking Echo onto Bandit, I think is a little bit questionable when you could 6-pick from the Maestro onto the Echo, just to give the attackers a little bit of concern of what are we facing here. Is it going to be utility removal? Do we need nades? Do we need another Zofia? But they're just showing the Echo, which is making it obvious for the attackers to stick this IQ. And no mirror strats either, so mirror in play but seemingly forgotten.
Razor wire in position. Device activated.
10 seconds left.
Razor wire.
5 seconds left.
They are doing a full hold of this garage. The battery is actually down already, which makes a lot of sense with the Thatcher ban. It's going to make it fairly predictable, but makes sense at the same time. We're not seeing a Carly brought out from the attackers. Keegan very, very far away over by the strip side. This Hypno looks to be joining himself in for Lounge at the moment, which is a little bit concerning. Not particularly coordinated, as the attackers just trying to get a feel for what they need to do, trying to work out. I'm not sure maybe if the way this is panning out is catching them off guard a little bit, but Keegan there just gets completely picked off by Userious, and opening kills again going in the favour of Backstrap. Hypno does level out. We have seen Invictus be able to pull this back pretty reliably. But they keep losing these opening picks, which is taking utility away from them. So although they are leveling out the man count, they're losing utility in the process. And I don't think Ash got either of her charges down, so a bit of a wasted utility. Not sure what Grandstay is doing here below. I'm not sure if he's cooking nades up, or he seems to have used both of them, so not sure if he's going below like this. Not sure what he's trying to do with to bring in Sledge.
Reloading.
Attackers have got the wall open, and they're using the double hard breach to get the rafters angle open, which makes a lot of sense. Hypno just sees the dock here, but doesn't ADS at the right time, and swings around underneath his dock, getting zapped by the battery, just giving away his position. The dock just directly above him, doing the right thing, just not taking the gunfight, just wasting time.
Loading
Where he is wary of the guy below him, so he's hopping back and forth between the angles. Shield Boy gets a kill onto the Bandit of Rubik's, and defenders here actually getting picked off. So I mentioned this being a little bit more simpler to break down for the attackers. It does look like they've had a little bit more success on this than bottom floor.
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.
Doc gets injured, gets revived,
Attackers have
but
recovered their
lit up
diffuser.
again already, and he's finished off here as the round count evens up at 1-1 with Invictus taking the second round. The attack onto CC going in their favour. Back to CC, dropping the Echo this time for Wamai and Valkyrie. No Jaeger here, actually choosing to take the Wamai so far instead of the Jaeger. Does actually 6-wick from Valkyrie on, so maybe an extra shield being brought here by the defenders. Just looking to burn up some utility, but no Evil Eyes to actually protect or anything like that at the moment, so not particularly making much sense. I suppose the shield and CC is pretty powerful. You can allow the breach to get open and you can just sit behind the shield, but bulletproof cam. That's quite an interesting spot for bulletproof cam. I suppose it gives you an angle looking particularly onto these kind of below the rafters, which Hypno is utilising last round. So I like that. That's a good spot.
Reloading! 10 seconds left before insertion. 5 seconds to insertion.
Two parts of the garage wall left soft here. I'm not sure if they...
Attackers objective is
I'm
to
not sure where
locate
they've
the
used
bomb
them.
and defuse it.
They've got the construction external, red stairs, cache, CC, rafters. They've used up all of their walls over on the other side of the map, so it's viable, but it does mean that Invictus here could get some more angles open in the garage side. Early engagements, I think, coming out for the Doc. I'm not sure if he was just shooting drones, he is shooting a couple of drones, and are you serious? I'm not... How is he in an engagement already 30 seconds in? Both of these teams are hyper aggressive on each other, and you serious gets a double kill within 35 seconds of the round starting. And he's not done there, he's going for a third, but gets punished for it, and Rubik's gets punished as well. And both teams here, not even a minute in, completely going for each other's throats. Lots of utility taken off. It is only the Sledge and IQ. No, both hard breach are still available. And Bandit's been taken out as well. It does look like they got the batteries, so IQ's job kind of done for the most part. I think the utility is going in favour of Invictus at this point. Smay just debating whether or not he's about to make a play. Keegan and Smay both aware of this guy on the rafters, who I think this is their focus. They want to get this guy out of the rafters, and then they can get garage control. And the dog gets lit up, but that's not gonna matter all that much with him being able to stim himself. He just lays down again under the protection of these rafters. Catwalk's just giving a little bit of safety. Oh no, Keegan doesn't see his head as his crosshair kind of covers the angle. Doc does actually get traded off, so the man count levels out for this. The map control not really working out in favour of Invictus, who unfortunately, having looked in quite a strong position at one point, now just down to Smay to try and clutch the round out. He doesn't even seem to be aware of what's going on in rafters, which is a bit of a shame, because they did very well to trade off there. But yeah, Smay just lacking a little bit of intel, and CC the second time around does go to Backstrap Boys. And back down to bottom floor, which I think is going to give Invictus a bit of a headache here, as they have to try and work out how to win an attack onto this. Hypno has been hard stuck on this IQ the entire time throughout both maps, I think. Definitely, keen IQ main. No Ash Sophia coming out. But I suppose with the amount of utility which is left in the board, I suppose they've got the ability to counter anything. It's just for gunfights at this point. I think that Backstrat are winning their opening engagements too much for Invictus to get their attacking rounds on the board. Which is perfectly normal on Clubhouse, but Invictus already having lost the first map will be keen to try and pull this back into at least getting a point from this best of 2 series. Now I would say Clubhouse I think is about 55% defender favoured. I'm not sure if that's up to date or not, but it does mean that if you get a 4-2 split as a defender, you are essentially winning, so to speak, because you're winning about 66% of your rounds. So it does mean that you're doing above average, but it does mean that a 3-3 split is then attacker favoured because you're only winning 50%. So I think if the round goes here towards I'm expecting this to go to probably 4-2, to be honest with you, from what I've seen so far. I think Backstrat are probably going to win this site and they'll pull off at least another CC or gym bedroom defense. In which case I think Invictus are going to have a very hard time when they go across to their defenses of this map. They're going to have to be able to pull off reliable defenses. We'll see how this goes. The Monty being banned out I think is definitely going to harm them here, as they don't have anything to kind of pull out to change their approach. The attackers committing to this full roam clear, and we saw it on Cafe as well that both teams were quite time efficient, but here it doesn't seem like there's any roamers coming out, and Keegan, to his credit, is contesting down to blue and gets the opening kill onto Rubik's. Lovely shot there from Keegan, who I'm hoping isn't about to waste. Oh, he does waste this. Okay, that's fine. There's no Maestro on the board, so I suppose it makes sense, but the opening pick in their favour is going to make a massive difference this time. And now, minute and 50 left on the board here for the attackers, who just need to consolidate this into more map control. They can try and get down blue once this pest is out of the way. And he actually manages to jump over the pest, interestingly, so not very well placed utility there from the defenders. Alibi does get droned out as a result of that, as the attackers are just consolidating their control now, opening the hatches, getting main stairs, getting dirt tunnel. They just need to, once they've got all of this map control, they need to turn it into more entries. And there you go, as I say that, Hypno gets the kill onto Jaeger. And now Shapes under the open kitchen hatch, peeking up aggressively, exposed here to all angles. And right, running suppressor on Alibi, which is disgusting. I don't know why you would ever do that. I suppose it is a bit of a headshot machine, but Hypno gets another double kill here, and it's just the Echo on the Alibi here to try and clutch around it. Keegan unlucky there with the... Oh no, he actually sends it around, he does get the kill, so Mil6 in a 1v4. He's got the Yokais, but only 40 seconds left, and Hypno and the IQ is still on the board. As I say that, he takes out the IQ, and he's not able to go on his cam because of the man disadvantage. He does down Keegan, so good situation to be able to make a comeback here. If he can get one more kill, he turns it into a 1v1. Not quite getting the right angle here. He's just sat passively. He knows that the Ash is bleeding out, and now the Ash isn't going to be able to make any more callouts for a team. But Mill getting picked off from some vertical angles and swinging around here, trying to find the kill, aiming way too high. And I take back what I said. I thought this was heading towards a more convincing Backstrat Boys defense side. I thought on the first map, until the Monty got brought in, they looked like the better team. But Invictus looking stronger on Clubhouse. They've managed to eke their way into this a little bit. If they can get another round on the board on their attack here, they are putting themselves in a strong position. They're actually taking the Jackal instead of the Buck here, so they're giving up a little bit on the vertical. They've still got the shotgun on the Jackal, obviously, but it's going to be way slower and way smaller shots through the kitchen floor. But oh yeah, they're actually 6-picking it, so maybe just baiting here. Maybe trying to get the defenders to not roam with the Jackal, trying to put them off, but Backstrike actually six picking onto the Cav, which is just going to give them.
Attackers need to
I assume it's a
locate
six
and
pick because
defuse
of the
as many
Jackal,
bombs as they can.
but it might actually inadvertently turn them into more of a roam heavy kind of idea, which I think is what Invictus were trying to persuade them not to do. So mind games coming out here from both teams, potentially backfiring on Invictus. Riot doing the gold solo queue COD player who's just found out what Siege's strat, where you just sit upstairs in a corner and just camp, and then just wait for the attackers and then flank them. Haven't seen that in a while. It's gonna really test the droning here from Invictus. It's right. It's literally
5
just
seconds left.
sat undetected so far as I can tell, and I think the attackers seem to be droning out the middle floor, so they're potentially. They've got garage cam, but I haven't seen very many on the top floor, and if Riot times this correctly, he is just hunting around for intel at the moment. If he times this correctly, he could get an interrogation off. He hasn't used either reinforcement, which is questionable. It's not something you see very often in competitive play, a Cav hiding in the corner like this. But I was talking about mind games just a minute ago, and if you get an interrogation off, it's going to tilt both teams, and the attackers here
Watch for the blast!
threatening to drone out his Cav, who just needs to hold her nerve for a minute, and actually I think she might have just exposed herself as a result of that. If she had stayed in her spot, I don't think she'd have got detected, and she actually gets the opening kill here. Gets the double kill with a very weak SMG, but kills both Keegan and Grand Slayer. No interrogation coming out, but again, opening picks coming off. I'm honestly not sure how Keegan and Grand Slayer didn't trade that off. They put themselves in a really good position and just missed shots by the looks of it. Cav is getting redroned again and takes out the drone straight away. This Cav doing a lot of damage, but Legion up here roaming as well. And they're trying to sandwich this Cav, and they're doing a pretty decent job of finding where she is, but they're just losing gunfights to her. Shield Boy does take out Serious. This Cav's got to be finished off soon, surely. And yeah, Hypno does finally trade it out. So once again, I've seen Invictus so many times here lose the opening entry, then get a couple of kills back just to level that out to a 3 versus 3. And again, they've got the hard breach on the board, so this isn't beyond them. But Rubik's gets completely lit up here by VIQ. He's just trying to push down, does walk straight into a goo mine.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Securing the door!
Spots for goo mine without even going on her scanner here. Hypno's played so much like you, he just got this scanner implanted into his main. Hypno trying to make this play down the main stairs into Moto. Smay has got the kitchen. He's going for the kitchen drop and takes out the smoke with a headshot as he drops. So good play there from him, and I think Smay definitely having a stronger game than on Cafe. Hypno here swinging around, trying to get this kill onto a guy in black box. I'm surprised he's not just sat in the hallway covering his teammate. He does back off a little bit, which I think is definitely the sensible play, as the plant goes down here. And this round swung on his head again. As I got to say, I think Invictus are doing a pretty good job of coming back from the original aggression. Although the 1v2 here for Hypno, he's got to try and see this post plant out to the end. The Echo, I think, is on his drone, so just trying to. He does. The Yokai drone just giving me intel here for the attackers. The defender, sorry, I mean. And a guy drops to Hypno's right, and he doesn't see him. Unlucky there for Invictus, who did a fantastic job of getting those kills back to a 3 versus 3, and getting the plant down as well, but not able to finish that just yet.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
All secured!
ADS deployed. Ready to go.
Place device. Device placed. Catching projectiles. ADS active in this sector.
10 seconds to insertion. 5 seconds left.
Stay clear of ADS line of fire.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Bomb fire is up.
All reinforcements nearly done.